Hey painting pals, the time has come. As you can see, I pulled out the pigment powders that I wanted. Not exactly sure which colors I'm going to use, but I wanted to use the same ones that I had used on the mushrooms. So these are the closest ones. There's actually 4 of them, not 3. So one is technically red and one is technically pink. And right now, yes, you are seeing them glow. However, that's because they're being charged with the UV light. And if I can find the cable for it, there it is. Okay, sorry, we have too many electronics plugged in. So as I turn this off, there is the glow. So looking at it this way, I think I want the rose red, not the pink. I'm not really thrilled with how the pink's looking in comparison to the figure. So those are the 3 we're going to use. We've got our winners. But just so you know, the whole set comes with more colors. Like here's the blue one, and I didn't pull the others off the shelf. So, but hold on just a moment. We're going to turn on the lights. Turn on the lights, make a few adjustments here so you can see what's going on. Turn this off. So here's the mushroom. So now you can see why the orange, green, and rose red are the ones that I went with. Those are the mushroom colors. We're going to first glue him down into place, and then we will spread the glow-in-the-dark pigment powders that are the spores for these vibrant mushrooms. Now, one thing that I did think was really cool that I noticed, I'm going to turn off the lights again one more time. Check out that the fluorescents that I used are so bright, they glow in the dark, and they are not glow-in-the-dark paint. Those are just actually Green Stuff World fluorescents. Okay, let me get the big light. Hang on, and then we're going to start it. Okay, so I've got my glue here. I'm going to hope that this is open enough. And now the fun thing about this particular glue is it is a gel. So I'm actually going to dab a little off because I don't want it to make a mess and show everywhere, because that'll turn the grass white. And that's not what we want. So hopefully I still have enough on. I still have the indentations visible of where his feet go. So now I can just hold him down, and hopefully in a few seconds he will stick. Voila. All right, so far so good. I know what I'm talking about. Kind of important when you're trying to do a tutorial, right? All right, so now what are we going to do with these pigment powders? I am going to take one of my old brushes. So old, ratty. These are great for reusing for different things. So in this case, I'm going to use it to get out a bunch of pigment powders that I can then brush all over. Ooh, a little heavy there. All over where the spores are going to be spreading. And we're going to make like a little trail behind him as he's dragging it along. And then, fun thing about pigment powders is they are powders. So yes, that is just me brushing it off, because again, they're not actually sealed down or anything. And since I kind of went a little heavy, that's probably the best way to handle it. And then we're going to go in and let's do some orange next. Mix some of these in with, and this is going to make just a fun little display for this guy. We are spreading the spores. All right, so not too shabby. And then when I'm all done with it, I'm going to go ahead and seal it, and that'll lock down the pigment powders so they won't go anywhere. A bit hard there, but I can just pick some up with the brush and kind of move it around. That's the nice thing about them being so loose like that. The idea is we are spreading the love, right? Now, there is one more thing. Very important thing that we need to do before this can be called a completed project. Oops. And it is not knocking down my whole setup, although that does seem to be what's going to happen. Oh no, I wiped off the glue on the paper towel and then wiped off my hand on the paper towel with the glue all over it, so I now have glue all over my hands. So that feels lovely, let me tell you. Any of the big painters will tell you no mini can be finished without the all-important black rip. Get that satisfying, signifying black rim done. And then I'll actually show you the sealer I'm going to use. And now normally when you use a sealer, you know, just like everything else, you want to have good ventilation. It is an aerosol, but for the sake of time and finishing this video and honestly being able to show you in a video, I'm going to go ahead and do what you're not supposed to do, and that is just spray it. So one moment here. This is what I like to use. Tamiya Black Clear. I've never had any trouble with this one. Some of the other ones I've used have left films, or I even had one like turn the whole figure white where I had to like repaint the whole thing. It was weird. So you do want to always test these out and make sure you know how it's going to work before you do it. But you can see I can just spray to seal that all in, and I make sure it's all very nicely covered. And there we go. Now, one more time before we switch over to final photos and goodbyes, I'm going to make sure everything's working. So we're going to charge up these pigments. It should have this UV light in a better spot, but that's okay. Let me grab the other light. Boom. And getting all charged up. It's not very charged up. You really should have it charging more. But as you can see, this would also be very fun under a black light. So if you got a room with a black light, that could be fun to play with. But there we go. Glowing mushroom spores. The green does kind of overpower both the orange and the pink. But again, I think my thumb is glowing. I think a large part of that is just the amount that I charged it was so very light. You can see it's already starting to dull. So charging it up with more UV will of course brighten the colors again. There you go. All right, now if our wonderful editor, and I've gotten this wrong so many times on who I'm sending it to, so I'm going to leave it without a name. But if our wonderful editor would transform us to final photos, you guys can see all the glory on what it looks like in both light and dark. And I do hope you'll try this out and let me know in the comments if that's something that you'd like to do, because I really think that it would be a lot of fun to throw on for minis and games. And hey, maybe you could even make an entire like blacklight game. Do it for all the bad guys. And I mean, think about how much fun a dungeon crawl would be if you were glow in the dark. So that could be really, really cool. So let me know what your ideas are if you're going to try this, if you think it's just another silly gimmick. And enough already with the glow in the dark. But thank you so much for tuning in and for watching again, especially if you made it all the way to the end. I really appreciate that. A big thank you to our patrons. They really help support the channel, and we appreciate you so much and love interacting with you. And if you want to check out our Patreon, definitely check it out. There's actually free trials that you can do, so you can see what it's all about if you're curious. And until next time, have fun and keep creating.